Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Arc of Virginia's 2020 Virtual Convention Home Edition. Wow, things have really changed. Doing conventions from afar is really different. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Robin Church. I am the New Path Early Intervention Family Support Director with the Arc of Virginia. The New Path is a program of the Arc of Virginia, and with me, I have Patrice Beard. And Patrice, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. She is going to talk about self-care today. Thank you, Patrice.
Robin, thank you. My name is Patrice Beard, and I am the liaison to the mental health community for Center for Family Involvement at VCU's Partnership for People with Disabilities. It's a mouthful.
It is.
So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to be talking about taking care of you.
Self-care during COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably been a struggle for everyone. I know it has for me. So, Patrice, if you're ready.
There we go. Yeah, so my slides stuck a little bit. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay, so I just always like to share this picture of a well, because whenever I talk to my friends, and Robin, I know I've asked you before too, and we talk with one another, I'll say, how's your well? Is your well full? And I use that analogy. I love that analogy. Just think of ourselves as a well full of water. And we're giving out water to our loved ones, to our coworkers, to wherever, right? And so it's important that we take the time to keep filling our well so we have plenty to give out, right? Because sometimes, I know for me, if I start nipping at somebody or biting somebody's head off, or I have no patience, or I'm tired and just grumpy, I'm like, well, how's my well? Like, what have I done for myself to fill that well? And if I can't think of anything, then I'm like, okay, well, that's my problem. I need to take the time to refill my well. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is refilling your well, especially during this time of COVID, which adds a whole other element of everything. So the COVID-19 pandemic can make us feel all kinds of stuff, right? So I think we're feeling overwhelmed right now. We got a lot of information coming at us, a lot of media, a lot of social media. Some of us are working long hours, and we're caring for our family while working long hours, trying to manipulate all that. And we kind of sometimes tend to put ourselves on the back burner. So some of the emotions may include, and I think looking at these emotions, anxiety, fear, anger, sadness, helpless, discouraged, out of control. I guess for me, if I have to check off, it would change by the hour or by the day or what do you think, Robin?
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. When you just put the slide up and I'm looking through these, it reminds me of a conversation that I had with a mom that I really want to share really quick. And she told me, she said, I was asking her how she was doing, how she was taking care of herself while she's taking care of her baby. And she said something to me that really resonated. And I think we can all probably feel this. And she told me, she said, my home isn't my home anymore. My home is a place where my kids are attending school. My home is a place where my husband is working. My home is a place where I am working.
Mm-hmm.
I never get away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that is huge. And so I can see where the anxiety, fear, anger, sadness, helpless, discouraged, and out of control can happen, especially at a time like now with everything happening in the home. So we kind of feel like we've lost our home.
Yep. Absolutely. So we may notice too that there's some physical responses too for all these feelings that we're feeling. You may notice we are having headaches, or that our muscles are sore. I know my shoulder, my lower back's been hurting me a lot lately. You may be tired, or you may not be tired. You may be tired in the day, or you might, as soon as you get into bed and your eyes are wide open, and our sleep patterns are all messed up. That's happening a lot too. Also, for some of us that have chronic health problems, that's worsening right now. We may feel like that's worsening. Also, what's worsening are our mental health conditions. It's bad enough what we're going through and what we're feeling because of COVID, but if we already have a chronic health problem, or we already have a mental health condition, these things can worsen, right? And we need to be really careful about that. I wanted to share this slide, and I'm going to share it later as well. Well, we're going to be talking about self-care, and I'm going to be giving some ideas and suggestions. But also, I just want to remind everybody, if you're feeling well over sad, so sad, not typical sad of COVID, not bummed out, but you are over and above sad, you are over and above anxious, you are over and above depressed, things are going on at home. I just wanted to share this slide with everybody, just to remember to always reach out, try not to isolate, reach out to somebody, whether it's through a text, whether it's a phone call, whether it's Zoom, whatever you can do. And I would also encourage those of us who haven't heard from one of our friends for a while, right? You know how that you have that friendship, and you're like, oh, I haven't heard from so-and-so or whatever. Just send a text, make a call. It doesn't take much. Just check in with them, especially if you haven't heard from them for a while. So again, I'm going to share this later, but I just wanted to keep this in the forefront. Please reach out if you need to. And so what I wanted to stress today is that self-care is not just important, it's essential. It's essential as breathing. So self-care helps prevent burnout, right? It's doing the same thing. Can you imagine sitting there, just sitting in front of the computer, which unfortunately some of us do day in, day out, and you don't take time to walk outside, you don't take time to binge watch something or anything like that, right? You want to prevent burnout. If you are feeling so burnt out and strung out and like you are just not having it, you're probably not taking care of yourself and taking some breaks. And self-care also reduces the negative effects of stress. The other day, my pool finally opened and I went out just for an hour, left my office, left it and went to a pool and then came back. And I really, just that hour did help me a lot. Help me reset my brain, to sit. And it helps you refocus. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, if I get up and I walk out, or if I get up and I stop doing what I'm right now, then I'll never get back on track, but statistically speaking, that's like the total opposite. If you take a break, a 5-minute break, when you come back, it really helps you refocus on things.
Sometimes I can feel that, Patrice. Sometimes when I'm in the grind of things, whether I'm doing my schoolwork or whether I'm at work, and I just need to get up and walk away, just get a breath of fresh air and look at some flowers out in my flower garden, something.
Yeah.
Just move. Yeah. Good point.
So self-care is not a reward. It's part of the process. Some of us use self-care as like a pat on the back for a job well done. And that is not how it should be looked at, right? You don't get a gold star for stressing ourselves out and not taking a break. And so I was thinking about that. Here we go. So some of the things I was looking at is, everybody ask yourselves, do you put off eating until you get things done? Like if you're working on a project or something, you're like, I'm starving to death, but I'm not going to eat because I got to get this done. As soon as I get this done, I'll get something to eat. Or as soon as I get this done, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Like, what? That's like an essential thing. If you have to eat and you have to go to the bathroom, like, what are we proving to ourselves, or what reward are we trying to establish here by cutting ourselves off of essentials, right? So now that I complained about everything, I want to give some suggestions, right? So what do we do now? We know why it's important, and we know all the bad stuff we feel. So I think number one, the most important thing to do is we have to acknowledge the turbulence that's going on right now in our lives, right? We have to acknowledge this stinks. This stinks hard, right? Acknowledge what's bothering you. Yes, social distancing's out there. We have to social distance. Some of us have a loss of work. Some of us have a loss of routine. Some of us are working full-time remotely while trying to homeschool, while trying to take care of other family members. Some of us have family members with disabilities, and we're working at home, and we're trying to get an education for our children virtually, and all that entails. So all that stinks. So it's okay to acknowledge it. Acknowledge it's not fun right now. It's not fun. I went to the store the other day and I saw one of my friends who I feel like I hadn't seen in years. We had masks on. She was so far away, and I was like, ah, you know, and I just want to go up and hug her. And you're like, oh, I can't, you know. It's just
Yes.
weird time right now. And so acknowledge that. You know, don't act like, okay, I must have a problem. Why am I feeling so anxious? Well, because there's a lot going on right now. And so acknowledge your feelings with that. Also, I would suggest that remember to mourn our losses, right? We have losses. There are different things that we're grieving about. And that is okay. It is okay to take time to feel sad. It is okay to grieve for the things, way things used to be that we're waiting on still. That is okay. Again, I want to remind you, if it's over and above sadness, where you're having suicidal thoughts or you feel like you're in a very dark place, that's different. And again, please reach out. But I just want to express that look at the things that we should be grieving about, right? Like I just said about seeing a close friend, attending exercise class, interact with neighbors and family. It's just a weird time, and it's okay to be sad about it. Worship collectively. A few weeks, well, I don't know about you all, but I'm doing that through Zoom, and it's not the same. Sitting in front of your computer and watching church service is not the same as going in or however you worship is not the same. And it stinks, and sometimes it's going to bother you, and that is okay. Like last month, unfortunately, I had to attend one of my close friends' wife's funeral. That was so bizarre, and it was so sad, and it was sad anyway. But as I'm sitting there, and everybody is wearing masks, you had to pre-register, and everybody is sitting around the church 6 feet apart, and everybody's sad, people are crying, and you see the family in front of you, and I see that man in front of me. That what do we want to do? We want to console them and hug them and tell them it'll be okay, and we all need that interaction, right? But no, we couldn't. And I remember being so sad on so many different levels, right? And that's okay. That really was horrible. And so COVID, it's okay to feel sad sometimes. But also, the third thing that will help, I think, is if you check in with yourself. Sometimes we're so busy, we don't take the time to check in with ourselves. So I have this list of questions, and I know I've been on webinars before where people say, ask yourself these 25 questions every day. And I'm like, so I made a list of questions that I don't want you to ask yourself unless you want to every single day, but just pick some. Just take 5 minutes to check in with yourself and see where you're at mentally, right? Figure out, how do you feel at this moment? Like again, when I'm irritated, when I'm irritable, when I have no patience, when I'm snapping at somebody, take the time and ask yourself, what's going on? What am I feeling right now? Why am I like this?
That's a really good point, Patrice, because I think sometimes when we are snappy and we can say, oh, it's you don't understand what I'm trying to, I'm snapping at you because you don't understand. And sometimes we have to look at ourselves and say, wait a minute, why am I snappy? What is it with me?
Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Am I tired?
Right.
A break? I mean, those questions.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Here are some other questions. I'm not going to read all of them. Sometimes, what am I thankful for? We do have a lot to be thankful for. Sometimes if we remind ourselves of that, it helps us change our perspective a little bit. What am I putting off? I'm the world's worst procrastinator. I think I've been working on this PowerPoint for like 5 minutes before you called me. And I don't know why I do that to myself, because it stresses me out. It might mess with my sleep, or it's kind of like nags or what I need to do. So I need to work on that. What's making me feel down? What do I love about me? Sometimes especially with COVID, I think I gained the 19 pounds of COVID. And not liking what I see so much or feel so much. And sometimes I have to just acknowledge, what do I like about me? What do I love about me? I'm pretty awesome. Why am I awesome? I'm funny, or I'm, something like that, right? Sometimes my daughter will be really down on herself, and she's looking in the mirror and she's like, I don't like this, or I don't like whatever. And I'll say, okay, now tell me what you do love. Before you walk away from that mirror, you tell me what you like about yourself. Like, check it out. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's really good. That's good practice. Yeah. That's really good practice.
What is my mantra? I don't have a mantra, but I know a lot of people do. What Remind yourself of it. Say it every day. This is a good one. Do I follow the advice I give to others? Raise your hand if sometimes you do not follow the same advice as you do with families, right? You say all these wonderful things, and you know what you're supposed to do, and you know what you're supposed to say, but you're so busy taking care of everybody else, you're not checking in with yourself.
True. That's true. Yeah.
So is there negativity I can cut out? What can you cut out? What I cut out Facebook. I felt like that was soul sucking for me. And I was getting anxious and it was not a good feeling. So I'm like, what? Why am I doing this to myself? I don't need to be on Facebook. So I just cut that out. So cut out any negativity. Are you making time to be social? Whatever that looks like for you, right? Are you making that time? Whether it's virtually, whether it's a walk, whether it's texting, Zoom, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have enough quiet time? And I'm not talking about just falling in the bed of exhaustion and going to sleep. Are you making time for you? Whatever you can, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Do you have enough quiet time where somebody, so I know my children were little, I couldn't even go to the bathroom by myself. Now I have animals following me. It's just, so take the time to be by yourself. So what can you let go of that's getting in the way of your health and well-being? That's no longer serving or supporting you. Like, get out the clutter. Like, just take a check of what's going on around you. Have I been letting myself feel my feelings? I know I am one of those people that will push it down, push it down, push it. I don't have time for it. Nope. I don't have time. I got to keep going. And I'm sad about something. Nope. Don't have time for it. You know what I mean? I have to go to this store. I have to take care of this. I have to take care of this. And then all of a sudden I'm watching a Campbell soup commercial and I'm crying for 2 days. So it's like, okay, I have not been letting myself feel my feelings. I'm a little overreactive here. You ever done that?
It all comes out sometime. It all comes out at one time. It can be, and for goodness sakes, don't watch a Lifetime show.
Yeah. Or do, but just don't wait every 6 months to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Feel those feelings. I'm trying to do better with that, especially if I'm irritated or grouchy, and I'll just kind of make an announcement in the house, like, I'm in a really bad mood, Warn everybody, just keep track of myself.
I need some me time. Leave me alone. Give me 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
So are you following anyone on social media who makes me feel terrible about myself? I think we can all raise our hand on that if we're on social media. There's so much going on right now. And we're not getting into any of that. But what I do is I take a Mr. Rogers approach to my social media. And if I'm not feeling warm and fuzzy, and I'm checking out my social media page, then I'm unfollowing you. It's not that I don't love you. It's that this is my little secure boundary place, and blood pressure's raising or my anxiety is rising or whatever. It's I love you, but I have to protect me. And so I would suggest strongly, if we're on social media and things are upsetting us and revving us up right now, it's okay to take a break from it. Take care of yourself. So, yeah. And also the fourth point I would like to make is it's okay to check out too, right? If you need to check out and take a chill and just give yourself quiet time, remember to do that. You need to, I don't mean check out in a bad way, like check out of life or something. I mean, check out, allow yourself to physically, mentally, and emotionally check out on a regular basis, like chill out, meditate, binge watch TV, play a game on your computer. That's what I mean. Take that time. Intentionally make time to create a shutdown time in your schedule, where you have free time in your schedule. So now that I gave you all those suggestions, I wanted to offer some things about ways to relax. So of course I have a picture of beach because I am a beach person. I love the beach. That's my happy place. So, but here are some other things. Cuddle with a pet. Our pets just love us no matter what. If we're pet people, just, very fun. Get up early to watch the sunrise. Okay, so that's not me. I won't be doing that. And all of these are suggestions. Like I said, I don't expect you to do all of them. What works for me May not work for Robin, may not work for somebody else. It's all well. Just check in and do what works best for you.
These are some great ideas, though. I love these
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah, like listen to music. Oh, music. Oh my gosh, my son came home the other day, he's 24, and I had blasted on my radio 80s rap, and I was like,
Oh my gosh, I would have been in heaven.
Houdini. I was like, oh my goodness. He's like, what is happening? But that brings me back to like a simple time when I was in high school, you know, so that's awesome. Bob Marley, oh please. I mean, music just wherever. I love music. Bubble baths, books, gardening. I mean, I know a friend of mine, she has a beautiful garden now. That's not me. That works for her. Movies, FaceTime, and breathing. Stretch. I'm doing a lot more stretches lately because I know I'm getting uptight and my bones and my, you know, my muscles, and I'm trying to be conscious of me stretching. And it has helped. With the stretching comes the breathing and everything, so that works for me. Coloring, walking, any kind of hobby. Workout, again, that's not me, but I know a lot of people that really helps them. That's me. Facial, that's me all over. I love the facial. Funny videos, knitting. So the point I'm trying to make is that our physical and mental health are joined. They are one. You have to take care of both during this time. So here are some tips to take care of you. And here are the tips that everybody's saying, right? Eating healthy, trying to get the right amount of sleep, trying to exercise, deep breaths, avoid risky behavior, alcohol, substance use disorders. Try to spend some time outside. You don't have to garden, you don't have to walk 5 miles, but try to get outside for a few minutes. I know it's been hot lately, but maybe earlier in the morning or late at night, just to get a breather. Take your dog for a walk when it gets cooler. And for mental health, routines, try to maintain a routine. For me personally, I have the capability of setting up a little office space. And so my routine is when it's time to work, I am able to go into this space and I won't work anywhere else. So I can shut it off and shut it down when I need to. And I know some people can't. I understand that. So, but somehow setting up a routine at home. Focus on things you can control. You cannot control COVID. So don't try to control COVID. You cannot control other people and what they're doing when they go outside. So focus on the things you can control. And I think that helps. So technology, maintain social connections with your loved ones. Check in with each other. If you haven't heard from a friend in a while, make a point to check in. If you're feeling really low and sad and desperate feeling, reach out. Also focus your thoughts on the present and things to be grateful for today, right? I know some of us who suffer from anxiety or worry, especially with our kids, making decisions on how they're going to go to school and how they're going to learn. Focus on today, what you're going to do today, and then try to focus on tomorrow. And sometimes that helps you lower your anxiety. So the news, that's a hard one with the news. We all have to know what's going on, right? We have to keep connected. So what I try to do is I'll do like 10 minutes in the morning, and then I'll do 10 minutes at night, because I have to know what's going on, right? But what I notice is sometimes my husband will have it on like a background noise, and it's just yucky, and it's just like constant negativity coming. And I'm like, what are you listening to now? They're just repeating themselves now, right? So what are you listening to now that you really need to listen to? It's just negativity. And I could feel like my heart race. I could feel like affecting my mood. And I'm like, turn that off. I mean, it's just, yeah. Especially with people with anxiety, general, that is just, it's bad. Lean on your personal beliefs and faith for support. That's always good. And I know there's some community-based things out there. I know some communities are giving out, delivering food social distancing to people, blood donation. I think, I forget what CSB it was, but they were doing face masks. They were delivering out face masks and giving out face masks. So doing something sometimes, taking care of others helps you. Acknowledge and appreciate what others are doing to help you and everybody else. Just make time to say thank you and I appreciate you, you know? And so my last slide really is to be gentle with yourself, because you're doing the best you can. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. Oh, I should be doing this, or why did I do this? Why did I do that better? Or, you know, like, it's okay. We're going through a lot of stuff right now. Acknowledge that. It's okay. Be sad about it. Mourn it if you need to. But yeah, you're doing the best you can, right? And nobody here's perfect. So just be gentle with yourself. And again, I just kind of wanted to put that out there again. I'm looking at some statistics coming out, talking about how suicide is on the rise. And I just want to share this one more time.
Patrice, can I ask you a question? Can you send that slide to me just in case someone reaches out to us and would like those numbers?
Absolutely.
Can you send that to me, please? Thank you.
Sure.
That would be wonderful.
And that concludes my presentation.
Yay, very nice.
It was helpful.
Thank you, Patrice. I love that slide. I love that presentation. It's just, it kind of helps. It kind of, even if you think that you are able to take care of yourself and you know you're taking care of yourself, but at the same time, there's maybe you're eating a little bit more, maybe you're eating the wrong things, maybe you're eating those things to suppress something else. Maybe there's something bothering you. Just kind of checking in with yourself, because, and I'm going to say that, and I appreciate everything that you have done, and you are so right with all of this, but I have noticed I've been eating more chocolate, right? Okay. And so when I'm frustrated, I'll eat chocolate. When I'm excited, I'll eat chocolate. So that's my go-to.
Yeah.
Reese's peanut butter cup is a go-to for me. I'll go and not just get the 2, but I'll get the 4 king size pack. You know, so there's 4 cups, and I'm just like, yay me, I got. But at the same time, there's usually a reason why I'm eating them like that. You know, instead of once in a while having one to celebrate something, that's my go-to for everything. And I had to take a step back and say, wait a minute. I need to take care of myself in a different kind of way. I think I'm taking care of myself when I'm eating those, but I'm not. So it's kind of recognizing what you're doing and making sure that it's healthy. What you're doing, how you're trying to take care of yourself is as healthy as you feel comfortable with, because everyone's different.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? That's why I pulled the slide back up, for be gentle with yourself. Who cares? Eat the darn chocolate. Like, if you feel like eating the chocolate, I mean, it's okay. The world's not going to explode because you ate chocolate. You know what I mean?
But however, I feel like I am.
Yeah. But I mean, don't beat yourself up. Like, yeah. I need to be exercising more. Like, I need to, but again, we're going through a lot. We have to acknowledge that. I put on a few pounds. I'm going to have to work on that, right? But I'm not going to beat myself up about it. And I'm
right.
You know what I mean? It's okay. I'm just going to, I need to do what I need to do now. So, but don't beat yourself up at it. That's what I always want to stress. Be gentle with yourself. There's nothing wrong with eating that chocolate if you want it. Right? But
I did recognize it. So that's the first step. That's the first step.
But just don't hate on yourself for eating it. You know, it's
right. That's right. Patrice, I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate you and all the hard work that you do. You're truly amazing, and your wisdom is, you're wise beyond your years. That's for sure.
We won't talk about the years.
Yeah, right. No, we won't go there. But again, thank you. I really appreciate all that you have done. And for those of you watching, I hope that you have gotten something from this video, from these slides, and from the wise words of Patrice Beer. And check us out on Facebook or whatever. You can shut it off now.